if you're new to my channel, my name is Juliasurface and I'm a freshman at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. And today I am doing part 1 of my housing video, all about what to expect and just the different dorms here at UTK. I decided to split up the videos because if I did everything in just one video, it would be probably close to like 30 minutes long. But yeah, my part 2 video, I'm probably going to talk more about like the actual like housing portal and like housing windows and like that whole process of selecting your room. But yeah, let's just get on to the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is just basic information about the housing website here at UT. You know, obviously I'm not an expert at university housing, but I am a student, so I have been on campus and I have a feel for what the dorms are like and how the process works. But if you want to find more information or you want to contact university housing, their website is housing.utk.edu. I will put their phone and email somewhere on the screen. So I'm going to start off this video talking about the different housing options. Here at UTK we have apartment style, community style, and suite style. Most freshmen do not live in apartment style housing. That's really reserved for upperclassmen. So that pretty much leaves freshmen with the community style and the suite style. So I might as well just say like what the apartment style housing is just for future reference. So we have 2 apartment style housing here on campus, full apartment style, I should say. That is Laurel Hall, which is going towards the fort. Volunteer Hall, it's also a northern campus going towards the fort. But also something to note is that Orange Hall and Dogwood Hall have apartments. For Orange Hall, I don't really know like who gets those apartments, but I know that Dogwood is going to be an all honors LLC dorm, so I'm not really sure who's going to get the apartments. I don't know why they wouldn't use them, but yeah, if you're an honors student, they have apartments in Dogwood, so I don't know, I would maybe see if you can get more information about that. So a very common style that people live in their freshman year is community style, and I know a lot of people, including myself when I was an incoming freshman, it's just like absolutely not, like I can't deal with that. It's just, you think it's going to be inconvenient, but I'm here to say that it really is not that bad. A lot of my friends lived in community style residence halls and they honestly loved it because they got to meet so many people, and these community style bathrooms are honestly clean every single day, like swear they're clean every day. I didn't live in a community style, but honestly every single time I went into a community style bathroom it was clean. So don't fret, it's gonna be okay. The 2 main community style dorms here at UTK are Hess Hall and Massey Hall, but the 4th floor of Magnolia is also a community style, but it's really classified as a pod style. So a pod style is when there are multiple bathrooms on a floor. I believe that people in a hall are assigned to a certain bathroom that only like 5 or 6 people use. So residence halls that are like that are Orange Hall and, like I said, the 4th floor of Magnolia. I'm currently not aware of the status of White Hall. That's Orange Hall's twin dorm. When I left campus, it was still under construction and no like returning students could live there or request to live there. So I'm not really sure if it's going to be open, but White Hall will also be the exact same thing as Orange, except it won't have apartments, I don't think. The next style of housing is suite. That's also a majority style that people live in. Kind of like community, there's like a traditional suite and then there's a semi-suite. So the traditional suite dorms here on campus are North Carrick and South Carrick, which are the same dorm, but they're separated. The boys live in North Carrick and the girls live in South Carrick. Reese Hall is a traditional suite, and so is Clement Hall. A traditional suite is when there's 2 rooms with 2 people in them, and those 4 people share a bathroom, so a toilet, sink, and shower. And then the other style of suite is called a semi-suite, and that's when 2 people live in a room and they have their own bathroom. So that's pretty much what Magnolia, Dogwood, Brown Hall, and Stokely is. There are some traditional suite rooms in Brown Hall, but I do know that a lot of the rooms in Brown are mostly like a semi-suite where two people share a bathroom like in their room. Stokely Hall has a couple of different options of like floor layouts, but the thing is most freshmen don't live in Stokely. But I know that Stokely has a triple private room where everyone has their own bedroom and their own bathroom. There's a quad shared floor plan where two people live in one room and then another set of two people live in another room, and there's two bathrooms and then like a little living space. And then there's a quad private where everyone has their own bedroom, but there's only two bathrooms. I know it's really confusing, but Stokely has a lot of options. But like I said, that's where, you know, a lot of the athletes live, so freshmen are probably not gonna live there. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about an LLC. I personally did not live in a learning living community. I know people that did, and they really loved their experience. So basically what an LLC is when you live with people that have like a similar goal or interest or major, and it's really only for first year students. There's like different types of LLCs, like I think I mentioned like major. Then there's like academics, like the honors college. There are pre-professional, like pre-law or pre-medical. And then there's leadership, like dealing with volunteering. And I think there's an ROTC one. So when you are in an LLC, you live like on the same floor in a dorm, or maybe even the whole entire dorm. Like Dogwood is dedicated to an LLC. So you just kind of live with each other and you guys are going through the same things, and it's just kind of nice to have a group of people that can relate to you. So now I'm going to get into the pros and cons of each dorm here at UT. There's not a perfect dorm at UT, and I really don't think there's a perfect dorm anywhere. So when I say these pros and cons, take them with a grain of salt. Like, most of these are my personal opinion. I'm going to start with West Housing Campus and then just kind of move along. So first, I'm going to talk about Magnolia and Dogwood. So what's great about living at Magnolia and Dogwood is it's brand new. It literally opened up last year. Most rooms have their own bathroom. There's a parking garage right outside our dorm, which is very convenient. The T-Rex is literally a minute walk from our dorm, and Publix is like right down the street, so it's very, very convenient. Also, if you're an agriculture major, Magnolia and Dogwood is really close to the ag campus. What's bad about Magnolia and Dogwood is that you definitely have to plan ahead because it's the farthest out from the hill in your classes, so you can't just wake up 5 minutes before your class and make it in time. The next set of dorms are orange and white, and honestly, like, they kind of have the same benefits as Magnolia and Dogwood because they're really close to each other, so it's pretty much the same. Orange and white are a pod style, so you do share a bathroom with more people other than just your roommate, but I have a friend that lives in Orange, and she literally told me that she never runs into anybody in the bathroom. The next set of dorms I'm going to talk about are the Carricks and Reese Hall. So that's in an area called Presidential Court because it's kind of its own like courtyard. So what's really good about the Carricks is that it's close to Presidential Court building, which is where you can eat and like use your meal swipe. And it's also closer into campus than Magnolia and Dogwood. It's close enough to the T-Rex where you don't feel like you're having to walk like almost 10 minutes just to go work out. So Carrick, I don't know how many floors Reese has. I feel like it's around like 5 or 6, but Carrick has 12 floors and there's only 2 elevators, and it takes forever for these elevators to like come and get you because there's so many people living in these dorms. You definitely have to be patient because if you live on the 12th floor, like one of my good friends did, LK, literally like you're not gonna take the stairs to go to your room to the 12th floor, so you definitely need to have patience dealing with that. Carrick is also an older dorm, and so is Reese. They were both built in the same time period, so you just have to keep that in mind. It's not swanky or anything. It's still like nice enough, and I feel like people are really, really close when they live in Carrick and Reese. The next dorm is Brown. I feel like every incoming freshman is obsessed with Brown. And I was too. I was like, I want to live in Brown. And honestly, it's so nice. Like, I can totally see why everyone wants to live in Brown because
It has the full beds, and it's newer, and it's centrally located.
But I don't really know what's gonna happen necessarily with Brown, because it used to be, you know, where a lot of the Honors LLC kids used to live, but they're all going to Dogwood now, so I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. But if you do get in there, it's really nice, and there's Subway and Twisted Taco in there, so to me that's a pro, because it's kind of close to my dorm. But some people that live in Brown tell me that it stinks sometimes, so I guess it can be a pro or a con, but I think of it more as a pro, because like, hey, if you're hungry, like, you can go down and get you some Subway or Twisted Taco. Kind of the one bad thing I can think about for Brown is, like, yes, it's centrally located, but it's not really close to a parking garage per se. Just keep that in mind. Right next to Brown, we have Hess Hall, which is literally, I feel like it's such a statement dorm. Like, everyone loves Hess. There's so much history in Hess that you just can't hate it necessarily. Like, you just have to appreciate it for what it is. Something that's great about it, if you need to go print something off from the library, like I do all the time, literally the library is right next door. The only bad thing about Hess to me is that the rooms are a lot smaller. So my friends that live in Hess, they decided not to loft their beds, but they didn't have a desk, so they had to do a lot of their homework like in their bed, or they had to go to the library. But I mean, like I said, it's so close to the library that I don't really think it matters. So I've talked about Stokely before. It's the athletes dorm. Not a lot of people live in that dorm, you know, other than athletes, and then upperclassmen, freshmen. I do actually know people that live in Stokely that are freshmen, so it's definitely possible to get in, but I don't really know a lot of people. Stokely does have a dining hall like inside of it. It's called the Fresh Food Company that you can use your meal swipe at, and that's really nice and convenient. Stokely has like full beds, and their location's pretty good, especially if you're a music, architecture, communications major. You know, it's really close to those buildings, and it has a really nice parking garage next to it. So the other community style dorm at UT is Massey Hall. It's kind of going closer to the Strip, so kind of getting closer to North Campus. I've only been in Massey once. No one lives on the first floor. Everyone lives like on the second. I think there's like 6 or 7 floors. Not 100% sure. Everyone lives on the second to like 6th or 7th floor. So if you're really into like eating out at restaurants, you know, Massey's close to the Strip. I mean, it has like a decent location if you're trying to get to classes, but the only problem is like it's not really close to like a meal swipe like dining location, which can kind of be a problem. And it is also community style, so, you know, a lot of people are scared of that. But like I said about all the other community styles, I promise you it's really not that bad. The dorm that is across the street from Massey, it's on the other side of Cumberland. It's called Clement Hall. Clement Hall is a suite style. I've never been inside of Clement, but a lot of people that I know really like it. It's obviously very close to the Strip. It's like right on the Strip. I think this location, like for me personally, wouldn't be great because like I said about Massey, it's not really close to like a meal swipe dining location per se. But like I said, if you're really into like restaurants and you're not a big fan of the meal plan, then, you know, maybe Clement is the best fit for you. Another great thing about Clement is they have their own parking garage, and something else that's not necessarily greatest about Clement and Massey as well is that they're so far away from the T-Rex that you just really never go. Just another thing to think about when choosing housing. I hope this video was somewhat informing and kind of gives people an idea of the different dorms here at UT. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye!